All right, hello and welcome back. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of searching around on the computer now. We've done some kind of techie stuff, I guess you could say. Now we're just kind of going to go for it. We're going to look around, go over what tagging is. Let's just go for it, you know? So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go to Users, Craig, and then we're going to go to his documents. I mean, I personally save my documents in my documents folder. If this is this guy's computer and he used it with no security basically in mind, he probably has stuff saved in his documents folder, right? I sure do. Go to guides. Huh. 6 commandments of coupon making. Interesting. Very interesting. How about this? Guide1.png, coupons for beginner. If you can't figure this guide out, get off the internet. Change the date yourself, as it's not affected through the barcode. Don't attempt to make them yourself. They don't take free. Oh, okay, that's not PC. Not nice either. If the cashier says the coupon is a fraud after looking at it, will it rip it up? Check the counterfeit coupon list to see if the coupons you're not going to use is on it. Most are not. Basically, it's a guide on how to make coupons. What did this guy get arrested or suspended or the search warrant? I forget exactly what it was, but why are we searching his computer? Because he was suspected of making fake coupons. Wow, that's really interesting, Donovan. It kind of seems to me as if this might be indicative of somebody making fake coupons. So, hold on. Boop. Maybe we should go ahead and select these, right-click them, and add file tags. We can go ahead and bookmark them for now. And what that does is later you can go to your tags down here, check your bookmark, and they'll all be in there. So basically, you're going to want to bookmark or tag in some way files that you think are important. I think those are important. Oh my gosh, this dude. Alrighty. Oh, one other thing we can go over really quickly is if you wanted to, you can add a tag, new tag, and you can call it coupon guides or lolxd or whatever you want to call it, right? Something probably that isn't lolxd, something that pertains to what they are, but you can tag them that way too, and that way you can group things up and organize them. So next, let's go ahead and look in this folder called My Stuff. It's got a lot of stuff in it, 47 things. Wow, quite a few coupons. Very interesting. I bet you if you looked some of these up, save $40 when you buy one copy of Borderlands. All right. Just a bunch of fake coupons from the looks of things. We can tag these. That's what the guide suggests to do. Why not? You know, we can add them. We can call a new tag coupons. Whoops, caps lock. If I could spell. Oh, I can't. No, I can't spell. I can't spell. Coupons fake question mark. Oh, can't do that one. Coupons dash possibly fake. Next thing, kind of interesting here at the bottom, we have this thing called zone identifier. So what is a zone identifier? Right here you can see zone ID equals 3. Can I zoom in on that for you guys? Looks like I can't. It's a little bit bigger here. Script. Yeah. So right here, zone ID 3. If you can't read it, you'll have to take my word for it. Or if you're following along, which is great, if you are, please follow along on your computer. It's a good idea. It'll say zone ID equals 3. So what is a zone identifier? Starting in Windows XPS2, Microsoft added alternate data stream to a file that was downloaded from the internet into what I was talking about earlier, an NTFS volume. It's something that's encoded using NTFS. Basically, it helps you determine the origin of the file, where it came from. A zone identifier of 0 would have come from your computer. 1 is the intranet. 2 is trusted. 3 is the internet. And 4 would be untrusted. And so we know that this file has a zone ID of 3. So we know it came from the internet, this Whopper JPEG. So it's likely he didn't make it in that case. But that doesn't mean he doesn't make the other ones necessarily. It's just something important to know about files and looking at the zone identifiers is it'll tell you where the file came from. So next we're going to go ahead and look at, let's go to pictures. And if we click on pictures here, and then we go to Xbox setup, why not do that one? Basically, these seem to have no, oh, another zone identifier, zone ID of 3. Where did it come from? The internet, right? This is his stuff. Santa Monica, we look in Santa Monica a bit. It looks like a vacation type thing. We don't need to be concerned with this. In my opinion, it would make sense to just check them all out. But once you've done that, you can see that really not relevant. So we can go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and look at his desktop maybe. If we look at his desktop, we can find some interesting stuff. Pricing sheet, the phrase that pays from a friend. Huh, interesting. Looks like this is how you buy college papers or just homework. It's like paying someone to do your homework. Interesting. Not something we can really we can report it to the school, I guess. I don't think that's really in our scope right now though. So it's in our scope. We're allowed to look at it okay. So there are two things to consider here. One is, am I allowed to look at this? And the answer is yes. We're allowed to look at everything because of our search warrant. But the second thing to consider is it relevant? And it says something about his character, and it's something we might want to take a look at should we find something else on the computer that maybe makes this more sinister. But for now, I don't think it's really relevant. Awesome coupons.docs, zone ID 3 from the internet. It's a little bit hard to tell exactly what's going on here, but basically it's probably, oh, encrypted package, interesting, okay. So these two things, let's see if I try to open it. What if I try to open mycoupons.zip? These are all inside the folder. It won't let me open them. What happens if I extract this? Let's check. Nope, not that one. Here we go. Okay, found it. It says it's a Word document. That would make sense. If I open it, enter password to open the file. So it's not his login password. So we'll come back to this later. We'll probably brute force it or something. Let's move on. We've got mycoupons.zip. What I'm going to go ahead and do is extract it. We'll take a look at it again. Extract. All. Extract. If you continue to receive this error, okay, we can try again. Interesting. Okay. So one quick thing that the CCIC doc goes over is a plugin for Autopsy. It's called Autopsy's Multi-Content Viewer Third-Party Plugin. So if we take a look right here, we can download it. Third-party multi-content viewer. Right here. So if we download it, so we'll download it. I'll wait for it to download and then I'll get back to you. Alright, so now that the ingest module has downloaded, I'm going to drag it to my desktop, and what we can go ahead and do is go to Tools, Plugins, and then we can go to Downloaded, Add Plugins, go to my desktop, right? Find that, open it. It's already installed, haha, so I've already done it. However, if it's not already installed, basically you have to check right here, there'll be a box, and then press install right here. Then you'll have to restart Autopsy and press finish, and then it'll come up. And so what you can go ahead and do here is with this document, you can say open an external viewer. In my case, it brought this up because we already tried to download it, but that's another way of going about figuring out that this is in fact encrypted. So what you're going to want to go ahead and do then is go to Tools, run ingest modules on Craig Tucker, and you want to run embedded file extractor. And for the sake of time, I've already run it. So when you run it, you're probably going to get this message. You should get this message. The encrypted files and archive detected. So when we go to encrypted suspected or encryption detected, one of these, my awesome coupons.docs and my coupons, both two things that we said, wow, there's a password on that. So Autopsy can do it for you. I just showed you how I came across it manually. However, Autopsy can also do that for you. One other thing that I saw that was interesting under Craig was SkyDrive. And so what SkyDrive is, I don't know if you guys have a Windows computer. OneDrive is an application. Basically, what it does is it's kind of like a cloud. It's an encrypted cloud. Yeah, so it's a little bit like iCloud if you have an Apple device. So SkyDrive is OneDrive. They're the same thing, pretty much. OneDrive is new SkyDrive. And so if we look in here, we can check documents maybe. And what are we going to find? Oh, interesting. More coupons, right? More zone identifiers. These ones have a zone ID of 2 this time, though. Interesting. Why is that interesting? Because that means they came from a trusted source. Some of them have a zone identifier of 3, though, so some of them still are from the internet, yet again. So what are we going to do next? We've looked around for a bit, found some interesting things. We can mark these again if we wanted to. Mark them as coupons, add file tags, coupons possibly fake, tagged all of those. We can maybe check out his downloads next. Sure, why not? That's not downloads, that's downloads. There we go. Okay. So one thing to keep in mind is that users can change their default download folder. Like for me, I changed my Firefox default download folder to a temporary folder. So anything that I downloaded that I wanted to keep, I would move out of the temporary folder, and everything that I didn't want to, I could just delete. I could move from the temporary to my original downloads folder, if that makes sense. So some people do stuff like that. So it might not always say downloads, but in our case, we're lucky enough, and it does. So let's look around a little bit. We've got more zone identifiers, more coupons from the looks of things. And then we've got a .rar file, which is kind of like a zip folder. Looks like we've got 2 more zip folders as well, so it looks like it's probably a lot of coupons, right? So since we already ran embedded file extractor, what we can go ahead and do is check inside of them, actually. Got coupons, more stuff about how to make coupons. More language. Apparently, people who are making fake coupons on the internet aren't the best of people. Doesn't come as a surprise necessarily. But basically, since we've already run the embedded file extractor, we can look inside these. We can tag them for later to look at them if we really wanted to, which we probably will. But actually, these all do have a zone ID of 3, so they're all from the internet. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes the 3s look a little bit like 2s. It's kind of hard for me to read as well, actually. Yeah, so that's going to wrap up our exploration. Just a quick kind of look into how you search around on the computer. I mean, part of digital forensics and forensics in real life is just looking. And that's something that is important to understand. So I think it's fun to just look around. So hopefully you guys found that interesting, and I'll see you in the next part. It'd be a doggone shame if you didn't sign up using the link below.